Elena Martinez's night went from bad to worse in seconds. She took a confidence-boosting photo in red lingerie and mistakenly hit send to a random number only to receive a response that makes her blood run cold. Keep the lingerie. I'm buying you dinner tomorrow, 8 p.m., don't be late. She thinks it's a creep. Turns out she just accidentally seduced the most dangerous Korean Mafia boss in Los Angeles. And Min Dae-Jung doesn't take no for an answer. Elena Martinez stared at her phone screen in absolute horror. The message was sent. Her photo in red lace lingerie, sitting on her bed with a confident smile, hair flowing, looking like a whole snack, had just been delivered to. No, 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 she screamed. She frantically checked the recipient. It wasn't to Sophia, bestie. It was sent instead to Mr. Park, West Properties. Her stomach dropped to the floor. West Properties, the real estate company that managed her apartment building. She'd saved the number months ago when she had a plumbing issue. Oh my God. Oh my God. Elena's hands shook as she typed frantically. Wrong number. So sorry. Please delete that. 2 seconds later, she quickly typed out another one. I'm so embarrassed. That wasn't meant for you. Please pretend you never saw that. She hit send on all 3 messages, then immediately tried to unsend the photo, but her phone was old. No unsend feature. This is a nightmare, she whispered, burying her face in her pillow. This whole thing was Tyler's fault. Her ex-boyfriend, the one who just posted his engagement photos to Instagram with the caption, "Found my forever," exactly 6 months after breaking up with Elena via text message. You deserve better than me, his text had said. I'm not ready for commitment. Apparently, he was ready, just not with her. So, Elena had done what any newly single woman does when she's feeling low. She'd put on her sexiest lingerie, done her makeup, taken a confidence-boosting photo to send to Sophia with the caption, "Still got it." Except she'd sent it to her building manager instead. Could this night get any worse? Her phone buzzed. It was from Mr. Park, and it said, "Apology unnecessary." The photo was appreciated. Elena's eyes went wide. Appreciated? She continued reading the text. You're even more beautiful than I imagined. Keep the lingerie. I'm buying you dinner. Tomorrow, 8 p.m., don't be late. What the hell? Elena sat up straight. Who talks like that? She texted back immediately, I don't think you understand. That was a mistake. I don't even know you. His response came as fast as lightning. You will. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. I'll send a car. I'm not going anywhere with you. This is creepy. It's not creepy when it's fate. Elena Martinez, Apt 4B, 2847, Wilshire Boulevard. Elena's blood ran cold. He knew her name, her address, her apartment number. Her hands trembled as she typed. How do you know where I live? I know everything about my properties and everyone in them. Sleep well, Elena. You'll need your energy for tomorrow. The phone went silent. Elena stared at the screen, her heart pounding. This man, this stranger, knew where she lived, had her photo, and was talking about taking her to dinner like it was already decided. Okay, she whispered to herself. Don't panic. He's probably just the building manager being weird. You'll call the company tomorrow. Report him. And her phone buzzed again, but this time it wasn't a text. It was a photo, a penthouse view, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking downtown LA, expensive furniture. And in the reflection of the glass, a man, tall, dark hair, wearing an expensive suit even at 11 p.m. And a caption, I thought it was only fair you see me too. 8 p.m. tomorrow, Elena. I don't like to wait. Elena's hands trembled as she zoomed in on the reflection. Holy hell, he was gorgeous. Sharp jawline, perfectly styled hair, the kind of face that belonged on magazine covers or K-drama posters. But something about his eyes, even in the blurry reflection, sent a chill down her spine. Those were not the eyes of a building manager. Those were the eyes of someone dangerous. Elena didn't sleep. She spent the entire night Googling Mr. Park West Properties and coming up with absolutely nothing. No LinkedIn profile. No company website listing employees. Nothing. Who is this guy? She muttered, scrolling frantically. At 6 a.m. she gave up on sleep and called her best friend Sophia. Someone better be dead, Sophia's groggy voice answered. Worse. I sent my sexy photo to a stranger, and now he's demanding I go to dinner with him, and he knows where I live. Sophia, I think I accidentally seduced a stalker. What? Elena explained everything. The wrong number, the messages, the photo he sent back. Send me his number, Sophia demanded. I'm reverse searching this creep. 10 minutes later, Sophia called back. Her voice was completely different. Elena, you need to tell me you're joking. I'm not joking. Why? What did you find? The number is registered to a private company. I couldn't get details, but I showed the penthouse photo to my cousin Marcus, the one who works in real estate, and he recognized it immediately. Elena, that's the Pinnacle Tower penthouse, the most expensive residential property in LA. It sold 3 years ago for $45 million to a private buyer. Elena's mouth went dry. Who? That's the thing. The buyer's identity was never made public, but Marcus said there are rumors. Really scary rumors about who owns it. What kind of rumors? Sophia hesitated. The kind involving the Korean Mafia. Elena dropped her phone. Elena, are you there? She scrambled to pick it up. Did you just say Mafia? I'm not saying it's confirmed. I'm saying there are rumors that the penthouse is owned by someone connected to organized crime in Koreatown. Someone powerful. Someone you do not want to mess with. Oh my God, Elena breathed. Oh my God, I sent a lingerie photo to a mobster. We don't know that for sure. He knew my address, Sophia. My apartment number. He sent me a photo from a $45 million penthouse. Normal people don't do that. Okay. Breathe. What are you going to do? I'm going to ignore him. Block the number. Pretend this never happened. And if he shows up at your apartment? Elena's stomach twisted. Don't say that. I'm just saying, Elena. If this guy really is who I think he is, ignoring him might not be the best strategy. So what? I should just go to dinner with a possible criminal? No. God, no. I'm saying maybe. Maybe you should respond. Politely decline. Apologize again. Just don't ghost him if he's actually dangerous. Elena's hands shook. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. I know, but listen, text him back. Be polite, but firm. Say you're not interested. Thank him for the offer, but you're not comfortable. Then block him. If he persists, we call the police. The police can't do anything about the Mafia, Sophia. We don't know he's Mafia. We're just being cautious. After they hung up, Elena stared at her phone for a solid 10 minutes before finally typing. Mr. Park, I appreciate the dinner offer, but I'm not comfortable meeting someone I don't know. The photo was truly an accident, and I hope we can just forget this ever happened. I wish you all the best. Professional, polite, firm. She hit send and immediately blocked the number. There, she said to her empty apartment. Done. Over. Moving on with my life. She got ready for work. She was a graphic designer for a small marketing firm and tried to pretend everything was normal. But when she walked out of her apartment building that morning, there was a man waiting. Not Mr. Park. Someone else. Tall, Korean, wearing a suit that probably cost more than her rent, dark sunglasses, hands clasped in front of him like a bodyguard. Miss Martinez, he said in a deep voice. Elena froze. Who are you? My name is Sung. Mr. Min sent me. Mr. Min? I don't know any. You know him as Mr. Park. He'll be picking you up tonight at 8 p.m. for dinner. Please wear something elegant. He's taking you somewhere nice. Elena's heart pounded. I already told him I'm not going. He received your message. Sung's expression didn't change. He chose to ignore it. 8 p.m., Miss Martinez. He doesn't like to be kept waiting. And if I refuse? Mr. Min isn't used to hearing no. I'd suggest you don't start that pattern. With that, Sung walked away, climbing into a black Mercedes and driving off. Elena stood on the sidewalk, frozen in shock and terror. This was real. This was actually happening. She'd accidentally sent a sexy photo to a man who had the money, power, and audacity to just decide she was going to dinner with him, whether she wanted to or not. Elena called in sick to work. She spent the entire day pacing her apartment, trying to figure out what to do. I could run, she muttered. Pack a bag, go stay with Sophia, change my number, move apartments. But even as she said it, she knew it was pointless. This Min, had found her address from one accidental text. He'd sent a literal bodyguard to her building. Running would only make things worse. Okay, new plan. I go to dinner. I explain it was an accident. I apologize. I ask him politely to leave me alone. Then I leave. Simple. Except nothing about this felt simple. At 7 p.m., Elena stood in front of her closet in her bathrobe, staring at her limited wardrobe. Wear something elegant, Sung had said. Most of her clothes were work casual, jeans and blazers, cute dresses for brunch. Nothing that screamed elegant dinner with possible Mafia boss. Except, she pulled out a black dress she'd bought for a wedding last year. Form-fitting, knee-length, sophisticated. It made her curves look amazing and her brown skin glow. If I'm doing this, I'm at least looking good, she muttered. She did her makeup carefully, natural but polished. Left her natural curls out, framing her face. Added gold hoop earrings and simple heels. When she looked in the mirror, she barely recognized herself. She looked confident, powerful, like a woman who belonged at an expensive dinner, even though inside she was terrified. At exactly 7:55 p.m., there was a knock on her door. Elena took a deep breath, grabbed her small purse, and opened it. Sung stood there, his expression neutral. "Miss Martinez, you look lovely. Mr. Min is waiting downstairs." The car, because of course it was a car, not an Uber, was a sleek black Mercedes with tinted windows. Sung opened the back door for her. Inside, it smelled like expensive leather and subtle cologne. And sitting in the back seat, looking at her with those same intense dark eyes from the photo, Min Dae-Jung. He was even more devastating in person. Late 30s maybe. Perfectly styled black hair with just a hint of silver at the temples. Sharp jawline, expensive black suit with no tie, the top button of his shirt undone just enough to seem effortlessly elegant. And those eyes. God, those eyes. Dark, intense, looking at her like she was the only thing in the world that mattered. "Elena," he said, his voice deep and smooth. "You're even more beautiful in person." She slid into the car, leaving as much space between them as possible. "Mr. Park." "Dae-Jung, please." "Mr. Min," she repeated firmly. "I need you to understand that this whole situation is a mistake. I didn't mean to send you that photo. I don't know you, and I'm not comfortable with any of this." He smiled. Actually smiled, like she'd just said something charming. "You'll feel differently by the end of the night." "No, I won't." "You blocked my number," he continued as if she hadn't spoken. "I found that amusing." "Amusing? Most people don't have the courage to block me." His smile widened. "I like that about you. I'm not trying to be courageous. I'm trying to set boundaries." "Boundaries?" He said the word like it was foreign. Interesting concept. Sung started driving. Elena tried not to panic. "Where are we going?" she asked. "Matsuhisa. I have a private room reserved." Matsuhisa, one of the most expensive restaurants in LA. The kind of place where reservations were booked months in advance. "I can't afford." "You're not paying. You're my guest." Dae-Jung turned to face her fully. "Elena, I understand you're nervous. But I promise you, you're safe with me. I have no intention of harming you." "Then why am I here?" "Because I want to know you. The woman who accidentally sent me the most intriguing photo I've received in years. The woman who then had the audacity to tell me to delete it and forget about her." He leaned slightly closer. "You fascinate me." "I'm not fascinating. I'm a graphic designer who made a mistake." "You're beautiful, bold. You have fire in your eyes even when you're terrified. That's not common in my world." "Your world?" Elena's heart pounded. "What exactly is your world, Mr. Min?" He studied her for a long moment. "I think you already know the answer to that question. I've heard rumors. And yet you're here. I didn't feel like I had a choice." "You always have a choice, Elena. You could have refused. Run. Called the police. But you didn't. You got dressed. You got in my car. And you're sitting here talking to me." His eyes held hers. Why? She didn't have a good answer for that. The truth was, part of her was curious. Terrified, yes, but also curious about this man who looked at her like she was precious, who'd send a car and a bodyguard just to have dinner with her. "I'm here because I want to explain that this was all a misunderstanding," she finally said. "And then I want to go home and never hear from you again." Dae-Jung smiled. "We'll see about that." Matsuhisa was everything Elena expected. Elegant, intimate, expensive beyond belief. They were led to a private room with sliding doors, a low table, and cushions on the floor, traditional Japanese style. Dae-Jung sat across from her, and immediately a server appeared with sake and menus. "Order whatever you'd like," Dae-Jung said. "I don't even know what half of this is," Elena admitted. "Then let me order for us. Do you trust me?" "No." He laughed, a real, genuine laugh that transformed his entire face. "Honest. I appreciate that." He ordered in fluent Japanese, and the server disappeared. They were alone. "So," Dae-Jung said, pouring sake into both their cups. "Tell me about yourself, Elena Martinez." "Why?" "Because I want to know you. You don't even know me. You just saw a photo." I saw a woman who was trying to remind herself of her worth after someone made her doubt it. His eyes held hers. That photo wasn't for a man. It was for you. To make yourself feel beautiful again. Elena's breath caught. How did you? Your eyes in the photo. They weren't seductive. They were defiant. Like you were proving something to yourself. He took a sip of sake. Am I wrong? She stared at him. No, you're not wrong. So tell me, who made you doubt your worth? My ex-boyfriend, Tyler. He broke up with me 6 months ago and just got engaged to someone else. He's an idiot. The blunt statement made Elena laugh despite herself. You don't even know him. I know he let you go. That makes him an idiot. Dae-Jung leaned forward slightly. Tell me more. What do you do? What do you love? What makes you happy? And despite every instinct telling her not to, Elena found herself talking. About her job as a graphic designer. About her dreams of starting her own design firm someday. About her love of old movies and her terrible cooking skills and her obsession with trying new coffee shops. Dae-Jung listened, really listened, asked questions, seemed genuinely interested in her answers. The food arrived, course after course of beautiful, delicious Japanese cuisine. Elena tried things she'd never even heard of before. This is incredible, she said, tasting a piece of Wagyu beef that melted on her tongue. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Dae-Jung watched her with those intense eyes. You have a beautiful smile. You should smile more. Kind of hard to smile when I'm having dinner with a man who basically kidnapped me. I didn't kidnap you. I invited you. You sent a bodyguard to my building with a message that I didn't have a choice. He narrowed his gaze. Did Sung threaten you? No, but did I threaten you? Not directly. But then you chose to be here, Elena. He smiled. Own that choice. She glared at him. You're infuriating. So I've been told. He smiled. Tell me something. If I had texted you asking for a date like a normal person, would you have said yes? No. I don't know you. Exactly. He smiled again. Which is why I had to be unconventional. He refilled her sake. I don't do anything halfway, Elena. When I want something, I go after it completely. And I want to know you. Why? Because of one accidental photo? Because of the fire in your eyes. Because you blocked me when most people would be too afraid. Because you're sitting here arguing with me instead of trying to flatter me. He leaned closer. You're real. That's rare in my world. Your world. Elena repeated. You mean the criminal world? Dae-Jung's expression didn't change. Yes. The confirmation should have terrified her. Instead, it felt like honesty. I run certain business operations in Koreatown and beyond, he continued. I won't lie to you about who I am or what I do. But I will promise you this. You will never be in danger from me or from anyone connected to me. That's not exactly comforting. I don't expect you to be comfortable. I expect you to be honest. Can you do that? I've been nothing but honest. Good. Then honestly tell me, are you attracted to me? The question caught her completely off guard. What? It's a simple question. Are you attracted to me? Elena's face heated. That's not, I don't. That's a yes. His smile was devastating. Good. Because I'm very attracted to you. You don't just say things like that. Why not? It's the truth. Dae-Jung stood, moving around the table to sit beside her instead of across from her. I believe in being direct, Elena. I find you beautiful. I enjoy talking to you. I want to see you again. This is insane. Is it? Or is it just honest? His hand reached out, gently tucking a curl behind her ear. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to force you to do anything you don't want to do. But I am going to pursue you. Because that photo, that accidental, beautiful, perfect photo, made me see something I haven't seen in years. What? Someone real. Someone who isn't afraid of me. Someone who looks at me like I'm just a man, not a title or a threat. His thumb brushed her cheek. I want more of that. More of you. Elena's heart was racing. I don't date criminals. You don't date anyone. You've been single for 6 months, nursing a broken heart over a man who didn't deserve you. He pulled back slightly, giving her space. Maybe it's time to try something different. Different? You mean dangerous? Maybe, but also exciting. Real. Honest. He studied her face. I'm not asking you to be my girlfriend tonight, Elena. I'm asking you to give me a chance. Let me take you on real dates. Get to know each other. See where this goes. And if I say no, then I'll respect that. I'll leave you alone. He paused. But I don't think you want to say no. You're very arrogant. I'm very honest. He smiled. So what do you say? Will you give me a chance? Elena looked into those dark, intense eyes, and realized something terrifying. She wanted to say yes. Against all logic, all common sense, all self-preservation instincts, she wanted to see where this impossible, dangerous, insane connection could go. One date, she finally said. One real date. And if I don't feel it, you leave me alone. Deal. Dae-Jung's smile was brilliant. Deal. He held out his hand. She shook it, and the moment their hands touched, Elena felt electricity shoot through her entire body. This was either the best decision or the worst decision of her life. She had a feeling she was about to find out which. The one date turned into 3, then 5. Then Elena lost count. Dae-Jung was not what she expected. Yes, he was powerful, dangerous, connected to a world she didn't understand. But he was also thoughtful, attentive, surprisingly romantic. He'd send flowers to her office. Not roses, but sunflowers, her favorite. He remembered she didn't like coffee after 3 p.m. and would bring her herbal tea instead. He'd take her to hole-in-the-wall restaurants she'd mentioned wanting to try, not just expensive places. He listened when she talked, asked about her day, seemed genuinely interested in her design projects. And he never, ever made her feel like she was just another conquest. You're different with her, Sung observed one evening when Dae-Jung was getting ready for another date with Elena. What do you mean? You smile more. You're softer, more human. Dae-Jung adjusted his tie in the mirror. She makes me want to be more human. The organization is noticing. Some are concerned you're distracted. Let them be concerned. I'm still running things perfectly fine. And when they ask who she is, what she means to you, Dae-Jung turned to face Sung. She means everything. And if anyone has a problem with that, they can take it up with me directly. That night, Dae-Jung took Elena to the pier. Not for an expensive dinner, but for a simple walk along the beach. I want to show you something, he said, taking her hand. They walked to a quieter section, away from the crowds. The moon was full, reflecting off the water. It's beautiful, Elena said softly. My mother used to bring me here when I was a child, Dae-Jung said quietly. Before she died, she'd tell me that no matter how dark the world got, the moon would always be there to light the way. Elena squeezed his hand. How old were you when she passed? 12. My father raised me after that. Taught me the business. Made me into what I am now. And what are you? He looked at her. I'm a man who was taught that emotions are weakness. That caring about someone makes you vulnerable. That love is a liability. Do you believe that? I did. Until I met you. He pulled her closer. You make me want to be vulnerable, Elena. You make me want to care. Even though it terrifies me. You? Terrified? The big bad Mafia boss. He smiled. Terrified. Because for the first time in my life, I have something to lose. Someone who matters more than power or money or even control. Elena's breath caught. Dae-Jung, I'm falling in love with you. The words were simple, direct, honest. I know it's fast. I know it's complicated. But it's the truth. And I don't lie to you. Tears filled Elena's eyes. You can't love me. You barely know me. I know you better than you think. I know you take your coffee with oat milk and 2 sugars. I know you chew your bottom lip when you're concentrating. I know you have a scar on your knee from falling off a bike when you were 7. I know you cry during sad movies and laugh too loud at bad jokes. He cupped her face. I know you, Elena. And I love what I know. I'm not built for your world. Then I'll build a new world. One where you're safe. Happy. Love. He held her gaze. I'm not asking you to love me back right now. I'm just asking you to let me love you. To give this a real chance. Elena looked into those dark eyes, so intense, so honest, so completely focused on her, and felt something break open in her chest. I'm scared, she whispered. Me too. But I think I'm falling for you too. His smile was like sunrise. Yeah. Even though it's insane and dangerous and probably the worst decision I've ever made. He kissed her. Soft, gentle, like she was something precious. His hands cradled her face, and Elena melted into him, her hands gripping his shirt. When they finally pulled apart, both breathless, Dae-Jung rested his forehead against hers. I promise you, Elena Martinez, I will never let anything hurt you. You're mine now, and I protect what's mine. I'm not property. You're not property. You're my heart. There's a difference. Elena laughed, tears streaming down her face. You're so dramatic. I'm Korean. It comes with the territory. He wiped her tears. Stay with me tonight. Not for anything physical. Just stay. Let me hold you. Let me prove that this is real. Okay. That night, Elena slept in Dae-Jung's penthouse for the first time. In his bed, in his arms. And for the first time in 6 months, she felt completely, utterly safe. 2 months into their relationship, everything changed. Elena was at work when her phone started blowing up. Not calls, texts from numbers she didn't recognize. Enjoying your gangster boyfriend? Another text. Hope he's worth it when you end up dead. And another one. Does your family know you're fucking a criminal? Her hands shook as message after message came through. Dozens of them. All threatening, all terrifying. She immediately called Dae-Jung. I'm getting threats, she said, her voice shaking. Texts. Lots of them. His voice deepened. Where are you? At work. Stay there, he said instantly. I'm sending Sung. Don't leave the building. Don't talk to anyone you don't know. I'm handling this. Within 15 minutes, Sung arrived with 2 other men. They escorted her out of the building and into the car. But instead of taking her to Dae-Jung's penthouse, they took her to what looked like a legitimate office building in Koreatown. Dae-Jung was waiting in a conference room, his expression darker than she'd ever seen it. Who's doing this? Elena asked immediately. A rival organization. They've been trying to get leverage over me for months. They think they've found it. He pulled her into his arms. You. So this is my fault. This is not your fault. This is them being desperate and stupid. He pulled back to look at her. But it means things are going to change. You can't go home. Your apartment isn't safe. You're moving into the penthouse until this is resolved. I can't just move in with you. You can and you will. This isn't negotiable, Elena. Your safety is more important than your independence right now. For how long? Until I eliminate the threat. The way he said, eliminate, sent a chill down her spine. You mean kill them? I mean protect you. However necessary. His jaw was tight. They made a mistake going after you. I'm going to make sure they regret it. That night, Elena moved into Dae-Jung's penthouse with a hastily packed bag of her things. Sung and his team had swept her apartment, installed security, but Dae-Jung insisted she stay with him. I need to know you're safe, he said, showing her to the guest room. You'll stay here. This is your space. No pressure, no expectations. But Elena found herself in his room instead that night, needing his presence, his protection, his warmth. I'm scared, she admitted as he held her. I know, but I promise you, I will end this. And you will be safe. No one touches what's mine. For 2 weeks, Elena lived in the penthouse. She worked remotely. Dae-Jung's staff brought her anything she needed. Sung was always nearby. It should have felt like a prison. Instead, it felt like a sanctuary. Dae-Jung would come home each night. Sometimes late, sometimes with that dangerous edge in his eyes that told her he'd been handling business, and find her waiting. They'd have dinner together, watch movies, talk for hours. And slowly, inevitably, they grew closer. One night, Dae-Jung came home with blood on his knuckles. Are you hurt? Elena asked immediately, rushing to him. It's not my blood. His voice was flat, emotionless. The voice of a man who'd just done something terrible. Dae-Jung, I found the man who sent you those texts. He won't be bothering you again. Ever. The implication was clear. Elena should have been horrified. Should have run. Should have been disgusted. Instead, she cleaned his hands, bandaged his knuckles, and kissed him. Thank you for protecting me, she whispered. Always. That night, things changed between them. They made love for the first time, slow, intense, consuming. Dae-Jung worshipped every inch of her body like she was sacred, and Elena let herself fall completely, giving herself to this dangerous, complicated, impossible man. I love you, she whispered in the darkness afterward. Dae-Jung's arms tightened around her. I love you more than I thought possible. You're everything, Elena. Everything. 3 months into their relationship, Elena finally felt safe again. The threats had stopped. Dae-Jung had handled the situation. Life had returned to a new normal. Except it hadn't. Because someone had been watching, waiting, planning. Tyler, her ex-boyfriend, the one who'd broken her heart and gotten engaged to someone else. Except he'd broken off that engagement. And he wanted Elena back. She's with someone else now, Sophia told him when he showed up at her coffee shop looking for information. Who? Someone way out of your league. Leave her alone, Tyler. But Tyler didn't leave her alone. He started digging, asking questions, and eventually he figured out who Min Dae-Jung was. And he went to the police. I have information about organized crime operations in Koreatown, he told them. And I know someone close to the main target. The police had been trying to build a case against Dae-Jung's organization for years. Tyler's information, combined with the fact that he had Elena's phone number, her address, her connection to Dae-Jung, made him valuable. So they cut him a deal, helped them get evidence, helped them build a case, and they'd protect him from retaliation. Tyler agreed, and he started by planting spyware on Elena's phone. The same phone she used to text Dae-Jung, to look at his calendar, to occasionally see emails about business meetings. Everything Dae-Jung had kept separate from her world was suddenly accessible to the police through Tyler. Elena had no idea, until one morning when she woke up to Dae-Jung's penthouse surrounded by federal agents. Elena Martinez, you're being detained for questioning regarding your knowledge of criminal activities conducted by Min Dae-Jung and his associates. What? I don't know anything. You've been living with him for 3 months. You have access to his communications. You're either an accomplice or a witness. Either way, you're coming with us. They took her to a federal building, separated her from Dae-Jung, who was being arrested in another location, and put her in a cold interrogation room for hours. Finally, 2 agents came in. Miss Martinez, we know you're not involved in Mr. Min's criminal activities, but we also know you have information that could help us build our case. I don't know anything about his business, but you live with him. You have access to his phone, his calendar, his emails. I never look at those things. We have evidence that suggests otherwise. They slid a folder across the table. This is data pulled from your phone. Texts, photos, location data, all synced to cloud storage, which means we have everything Mr. Min has sent you for the past 3 months. Elena's blood ran cold. That's private. It's evidence. And it's enough to put Mr. Min away for a very long time. Unless you cooperate. Cooperate how? Testify. Tell us what you know about his operations. Help us build our case. In exchange, we'll grant you immunity and witness protection. I won't betray him, even if it means going to prison yourself as an accomplice. Elena stared at them. You're bluffing. Are we? You've received money from him, lived in properties he owns, been present at locations where criminal activities have occurred. A good prosecutor could make a very convincing case that you're complicit. I love him. He's a criminal. Love doesn't change that. The agent leaned forward. Help us, Miss Martinez, or go down with him. Your choice. Elena sat in that room for 6 hours, refusing to answer questions, demanding a lawyer, insisting she knew nothing. Finally, they let her go, but not before warning her. We're building our case with or without you. But if you're smart, you'll distance yourself from Min Dae-Jung before it's too late. When Elena finally got back to the penthouse, escorted by Sung, who'd been negotiating her release, Dae-Jung was waiting. He'd been released too. His lawyers were too good, the evidence too circumstantial. But the damage was done. They have my phone data, Elena said, collapsing into his arms. Everything I've ever texted you. Every photo. I know. His voice was tight. They got a warrant for cloud backups. It's not enough to convict me, but it's enough to cause problems. How did they even know to look? Someone gave them information. Someone close. Dae-Jung's jaw was tight. I'm finding out who. It took 2 days. 2 days of Dae-Jung's organization tearing apart every possible lead. And then they found it. The spyware on Elena's phone. Installed remotely. Traced back to Tyler. Your ex-boyfriend, Dae-Jung said, his voice deadly quiet. He's been working with the feds. Using you to get to me. Elena felt sick. Tyler did this. He planted spyware on your phone, probably when you were still together. Activated it recently. Everything you've texted me, every photo, every location, he's been feeding it to the police. Oh my God, he's trying to send me to prison. And he's using you to do it. Elena's hands shook. What are you going to do? Dae-Jung looked at her with those dark, dangerous eyes. What do you want me to do? I want you to let the police handle it, Elena said. I want you to be better than him. Better than this. Elena, please, Dae-Jung. If you kill him, you become exactly what they say you are. You prove them right. He tried to destroy us. To use you against me. To send me to prison. I know. And it's sick and wrong, and I hate him for it. But I don't want you to become a murderer because of him. Elena grabbed his face. I love you. And I need you here with me. Not in prison for revenge. Dae-Jung closed his eyes, pulling her close. You're asking me to let him walk away. I'm asking you to be the man I fell in love with. The man who told me his mother taught him there's always light, even in darkness. Be that man, not the one your father made you. For a long moment, Dae-Jung said nothing. Then, okay, 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 I won't kill him. He pulled back to look at her. But he doesn't get to walk away clean. I have evidence of him tampering with your phone without permission. Hacking. Installing spyware. That's federal crimes. I'll turn it over to my lawyers. They'll handle it legally. Really? Really? For you. He kissed her forehead. But he's getting prosecuted. And when he inevitably makes a deal with the feds to testify against me, my lawyers will tear apart his credibility as a criminal himself. He won't be able to hurt us. And us? What happens to us? We disappear for a while. Let things cool down. I have properties in other states, other countries. We'll go somewhere safe until my lawyers clean this up. I can't just leave my life. You can work remotely. I'll make sure you have everything you need. And when it's safe, we'll come back. He held her tight. I'm not losing you, Elena. Not to the police, not to your ex, not to anyone. 2 days later, they left Los Angeles. Dae-Jung had a property in Hawaii, a beautiful house on a private beach, far from the chaos and danger of their normal lives. For 3 months, they lived there, just the two of them, Sung and minimal security nearby, but mostly it was peace. Elena worked on her design projects remotely. Dae-Jung ran his organization through encrypted communications, but mostly they just existed together, cooked meals together, walked on the beach, made love under the stars, built a life that felt real and simple and perfect. I could stay here forever, Elena said one evening, watching the sunset. We can if you want. Dae-Jung pulled her close. I'm done, Elena. With all of it. My lawyers are negotiating my complete exit from the organization. I'm transferring leadership to my second-in-command, legitimizing all my remaining business interests. I'm getting out. Elena turned to stare at him. What? But that's your entire life. You're my entire life. Everything else is just noise. He took her hand. I told you I'd build a new world for you. I meant it. A world where you're safe, where we can be together without looking over our shoulders, where I can be the man you deserve. Tears filled Elena's eyes. You'd really give all that up for me? I'd give up anything for you. He got down on one knee. Elena's breath caught. I don't have a ring yet. We left LA too fast. But I'll get you any ring you want. 10 rings. Whatever makes you happy. He smiled. But I need to ask you now, before another second passes. Elena Martinez, will you marry me? Will you let me spend the rest of my life loving you, protecting you, building a life that's ours and only ours? Yes, Elena sobbed. God, yes. Yes, I'll marry you. He stood, kissed her deeply, and spun her around as she laughed through her tears. I love you, he murmured. My accidental perfect mistake. My beautiful chaos. I love you too. My dramatic Korean gangster. Former gangster. Right? Former. She agreed, kissing him again. 1 year later, Elena stood in the gallery space, looking at the photographs on the walls. Her photographs. After Hawaii, she and Dae-Jung had settled in Seattle, far from LA, far from his old life. He'd kept his promise, completely exited the organization, legitimized all his business holdings, became a boring, legal businessman. And Elena had finally opened her own photography studio. The gallery showing was her first big event. Black and white portraits, landscapes, street photography, and one photo that everyone kept coming back to. A shot of 2 hands clasped together. One light, one dark. A simple gold band on one finger. That's my favorite, Dae-Jung said, coming up behind her and wrapping his arms around her waist. Mine too. Elena leaned back against him, feeling the solid warmth of her husband. They'd married 6 months ago. A small ceremony on the beach. Just them and a handful of close friends. And she smiled. How's it feel being a successful photographer? Surreal. Amazing. Like I'm finally where I'm supposed to be. You are. And I'm so proud of you. He kissed her neck. Ready to go? We have dinner reservations in a minute. I want to enjoy this a little longer. They stood together, looking at her work, at the evidence of the life they'd built together. You know what's funny? Elena said softly. What? If I hadn't accidentally sent you that photo, none of this would have happened. I'd probably still be in LA, working a job I hated, pining over Tyler. And I'd still be a miserable bastard running a criminal empire with no one to come home to. So basically, that wrong number was the best mistake I ever made. Best mistake we both ever made. Dae-Jung turned her to face him. I love you, Elena Min. I love you too, Dae-Jung Min. He kissed her, right there in her gallery, in front of all her photographs, surrounded by the life they'd built from one accidental, perfect, beautiful mistake. And Elena thought, this is what happiness feels like. Not perfect, not simple, but real. And completely, wonderfully hers. Sometimes the wrong number is exactly the right person. Sometimes love finds you in the most unexpected, unconventional way. And sometimes one accidental photo can change absolutely everything. If you enjoyed this story, besties, please like. Also, drop your comments in the comments section. Would you accidentally text a mafia boss? What would you do in Elena's situation? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.